All right, welcome into the postgame show, everybody. Altitude Sports Radio. I'm Dan Tanner for Nuggets and Grizzlies reaction. This is In the Paint on YouTube and Twitter. Streaming along here as the Nuggets get the 125-115 victory over the Memphis Grizzlies. Great bounce back win for the Denver Nuggets after losing the other night, Saturday night, at Ball Arena against the lowly Sacramento Kings. Weird into this game tonight. The Nuggets were up 18 with about 6.5 minutes to go there in the fourth quarter, and the Grizzlies go on a 12-0 run. David Adelman calls a timeout. Jamal Murray was fantastic down the stretch there. I mean, he hit some big-time shots for the Nuggets to really seal the deal on this one. So that was good to see. That was really good to see. Jamal Murray, I thought, was excellent tonight, everybody. You tell me what you thought of Jamal Murray in the comments. I'd love to get your thoughts, and we'll go through those as we go along. But Jamal Murray, I thought this was one of his best, if not his best game of the season for the Denver Nuggets. He was great throughout this thing. This wasn't like, so many times throughout the course of Jamal Murray's career, we've seen him be not just inconsistent throughout the course of a regular season, but inconsistent in games. And I've talked about this a lot, and it was the same problem Michael Porter Jr. had during his time with the Denver Nuggets, where he had a really good first half and then he didn't do anything in the second half, or vice versa, or a really good first quarter, bad third quarter. Tonight, I thought Jamal Murray was excellent quarters 1 through 4. I thought he played really well with the second unit, who was, talk about a good bounce back game for the bench unit. After a great start to the season, the bench unit, I thought, really struggled the last 3 games, but they came in tonight and were flat out awesome. In fact, Jamal's talking to the TV right now. Let's hear what Jamal has to say.
A good win for you coming off that tough loss the other night. A little bit of a break. What the heck are you going to do with 2 or 3 days off?
As little as possible.
Sleep and rest a little bit. Where's this team at right now?
We're really good. I think we're only getting better. As guys went down, more guys are stepping up and having confidence to play. So, you saw tonight, the second unit looks great. And we're moving the ball. The ball's hopping, the defense is together. So as long as we keep that up, the sky's the limit.
I appreciate it. Good game tonight, man.
Yeah, I caught the end there, but that's great stuff. Jamal deserved to be the walk-off interview. Just talking about him. That was Scotty there with Jamal Murray. I thought he was absolutely fantastic tonight. And what a start to the season for Jamal Murray. It's weird. He's a guy that, like, over the last couple of games, there's been so many other things going on that I just haven't really been able to get to the play of Jamal Murray over the first 17 games now of the regular season. Wow, we're already 17 games into this thing. Boy, does the season go quick. But he's been awesome. I talked about this at length over the offseason. He made it a point to come into the season ready to go, in shape. I was at David Adelman's introductory press conference at Ball Arena, and Jamal Murray, I believe Julian Strother, and one other Nuggets player was there in attendance at Ball Arena for David Adelman's press conference. And Adelman said it in that presser with those guys right there. He's like, the expectation is this team has to come into next year, meaning this year, in better shape. And boy, Jamal Murray absolutely heard those words from David Adelman, because he came into the season in great shape after the previous season where he really struggled for Team Canada, hardly even played in the Olympics for Team Canada. My God, can you believe that? Like, Jamal Murray should be one of the best players on Team Canada. He barely got off the bench in last summer's Olympics for Team Canada. Came into last season pretty out of shape. I don't want to say way out of shape, but comparative to how he looks at the start of this year, it's not even close. And this is the first time in his career where I really have felt like he's hit the ground running to start the season. So that was absolutely, it's just been great to see Jamal Murray finally get off to a fast start here with the Denver Nuggets. All right, we got Nate on the show. Let me bring him in here.
Nate, man, what's up?
Welcome to In the Paint, bro. Thanks for joining me.
It's an honor to be in the paint. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Nate, I was just talking about, I thought Jamal Murray was awesome tonight, man. Like, really, really good. This is the first season I can remember where he hit the ground running to start the year. Jamal Murray's always been a notoriously slow starter, as we all know. Just kind of want to get your thoughts on what you've seen from Jamal now 17 games into the regular season.
Healthy. I think healthy is the biggest thing that you see, and also just really playing within himself. Tonight he went for 29. He had 8 assists. He had the 1 turnover, and it was just that late traveling call. It's the playmaking has been absolutely incredible. Was it Zeke that hit the corner 3, or was it P. Watt? Who hit the corner 3 when he drove and then whipped the pass back behind himself with the left hand tonight?
I believe that was Zeke.
I think actually. It was Zeke. I think you're right about that. Yeah, and shout out to Zeke for making that 3.
Good for him, man. Like,
yeah,
everybody's written him off, so good for Zeke Naji.
Yeah, no, it's a little bit of spot duty with an opportunity. So that part was really, really good to see. With him getting on the floor and hitting that shot. But no, Jamal is he is playing right now, I think, at a pace that he's really comfortable with. And the other factor that I think is big, Dan, is that Valanciunas is just better for him to play with. Valanciunas is a better screener, is better on the dribble handoff stuff, is a better screen role player. Like, the other bigs that he has had to play with on that second unit, none of them are just as good at running the 2-man game with Jamal as Valanciunas has been. So I think a big part of the bench unit being better this season is like, yeah, you got better players. Like Bruce Brown's an upgrade, and obviously, Tim Hardaway, even though he's starting right now because of the injuries, he's an upgrade. But the other big thing that I think is going on is just Jamal with Valanciunas gives you a much better 1-2 punch of a point guard and a big that I don't think they had with DJ or, quite frankly, anyone else that has been here in recent years. And I think that's really, really helping things with Jamal.
Wow, man, that's a great point. I hadn't thought of it exactly that way, but you're right. The 2-man game just disappeared when Nikola Jokic left the floor in previous seasons. I mean, it was non-existent.
Right.
But you're right, man. Like when Val's in there, and I've said this from the start of the season, one of my favorite things about the addition of Jonas Valanciunas is when he comes in, the Nuggets really don't have to change the way they run their offense.
Right.
Not all that much. I'm not saying he's Nikola Jokic out there, but like they don't have to go to a completely different style of play. And you're right, man. Who is that helping the most? Yeah. When Jamal staggers with the second unit, it looks great.
Yeah, no, so, I think that's really, really helped him a lot this year. It feels like when he's with the second unit, he's not carrying as heavy a load as he was last year when he had to be out there with, honestly, just a bunch of younger guys. I think that's helped him a ton.
It's been fantastic. And how about Peyton Watson? My goodness. It's funny. It seems, Nate, like teams, the game plan for defenses with Peyton Watson over the last 3 games, I guess, is they're just like, just let Peyton Watson shoot the 3. To start these games, nobody's even guarding him, like at all. Like they're just giving him that shot until he shows he can knock it down. Tonight he started 0 of 3, but credit to Peyton Watson. I mean, he just kept shooting that thing, and it eventually started going in. And I've always said this about Peyton Watson, and honestly, same thing with Christian Brown. If they can develop the ability to consistently knock down those outside shots, the sky is the limit for both of those guys, and it just completely opens up the Nuggets offense. So just curious what your thoughts are on how Peyton Watson's done, especially since Aaron Gordon's been out.
Yeah, I think he had an Aaron Gordon kind of off season where he just put a bunch of work into his outside shot.
It sure looks like it.
Yeah, but when he's confidently hitting corner threes, he made 5 threes tonight. Like there were months in the past where Peyton Watson didn't make 5 threes, and he made 5 of them tonight. So he's been wonderful. I'm kind of interested to see the lineup that Adelman ran out there tonight. He put Spencer Jones in the starting lineup once again, and the only guy on the team that was a minus tonight was Spencer Jones. I right now, where I'm at with this current lineup, with AG out, with Christian Brown out, is I think I would like to see Tim Hardaway or maybe Bruce Brown in the starting five, with Peyton Watson at the 4, and then use Spencer Jones, kind of still deploy him in that kind of spot duty where you need him. I think that's a better role for him to be in a little bit. I get what Adelman is trying to do. I would change it up a little bit though, and I would go with Hardaway or Brown probably right now in the starting 5, and give them a majority of those minutes to at least start the first and the third quarter on the floor with Jamal and with Jokic. What do you think about that, Dan?
I like it, and I've actually talked about this. Here's the thing though, because I actually brought up what was it? The game Hardaway started like a couple of 2 or 3 games ago. He had 23 points. That might have been in Minnesota, I believe.
Yeah.
And I was after the game, I was like, man, Hardaway might not come off the bench. He might be starting for the rest of the season. And then, of course, the next game he's coming off the bench. But when I said that, a lot of fans' reaction was, well, the bench needs shooters, which they do.
Yeah.
And they need scorers. So I kind of started thinking about it, and I was like, man, but he's so good with Jokic, I do think Bruce Brown, I guess, would be better in the starting role just for the fact that they do need more shooters coming off the bench, especially with Julian Strawther out right now with a lower back problem. So I don't know. I guess I think it would work either way.
Yeah.
But if you're asking me the best scenario, I guess it would be Bruce in the starting lineup and Hardaway coming off the bench, because I got to be honest, Nate, we all love Brucey B here in Denver, okay? He seems like he's taken a while to kind of get things going. It hasn't looked like the Bruce Brown we saw a couple of years ago quite yet. He's still a good defender. He's still cutting to the basket. Joker had that just ridiculous pass to him on a cut today. I don't know, man. Bruce just seems like he's a little bit off right now, and Hardaway has got it going. So I don't know.
Interesting. I've not thought that about Bruce Brown. I've actually been generally pretty pleased. He wasn't really good the other night against Sacramento, but I've generally been pretty pleased with the play of Bruce Brown. Yeah, the Strawther injury, the Hardaway thing works better with Strawther available, because you do need that bench shooting. Absolutely. Yeah, it's when you're missing 2 starters, there's no perfect answers. Is Deron Holmes going to get into the rotation? And I don't know, into the rotation, but is Deron Holmes going to get an actual legit NBA opportunity right here as an additional big without Aaron Gordon out there? I guess you don't necessarily need him to if Zeke Naji can play semi-efficient basketball like he did tonight. Can we also talk about Jokic's 3 before the end of the third quarter?
Oh, I have it.
Dude.
I have it. In fact, I want to share it with you here real quick.
Play this shot for me.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I got it. Cause it's effortless, man. He doesn't even look like he's trying. All right. So let me get to Twitter here. All right. Here's the half court shot by Joker at the end of the third.
Said I tried to talk to the other official.
Look
he
at
said
that.
No.
Jokic.
Perfect. One more time. One more time.
The other official. He said no.
Jokic.
I mean, come on, man. He makes those shots look so easy. How does he do that?
I gotta tell you, the only other person that I've ever seen do that before, where you can shoot it from, I gotta pull up the box score. I gotta see officially what they. Hold on, because I have the official NBA play-by-play up right now. I gotta get to the end of the third quarter because I want to see the distance they officially called it. They called it a 40 foot. 40 foot is officially what they called it. God, I would have even said maybe 42, 43.
Yeah.
Either way, the only other dude that I've ever seen shoot like that, and random name from the past, J.R. Smith. J.R. Smith was the only guy that I ever saw. And because they used to do, they would do half-court shots at the end of practice. And this is back in the day when I used to have to go cover the team all the time, with my mini disc recorder and get my sound bites and everything to go cut up the old producing days there. Dude.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but they used to do half-court shots at the end of practice. And, every other guy would have to, heave. JR was the one where he could pull up like beyond half court and just like flick of the wrist. J.R. Smith was the most insanely strong dude I've ever seen, and Jokic obviously like Jokic is the strongest man alive as far as I'm
Where
concerned.
it looks like they don't have to change their shooting motion
right.
to heave
Like,
it that far.
Yeah, it's not.
They're just shooting the ball.
It's not really a heave even. Like I guess Dame did that. Dame was able to do that a little bit. Like
Steph a little bit too.
Yeah, Steph a little bit with those guys' ability to be able to make like 38, 40 footers, but that was catch. He didn't dribble. That was catch, one step like into his shooting motion and then splashed it. Like it didn't nick the rim or anything else like that. He buried that thing. That shot was unbelievable. He was so good. Hot take. Nikola Jokic was good tonight. He didn't do a lot of shooting in this game, and Hastings and Marlowe were kind of talking about it a little bit during the telecast of just like, okay, maybe take a couple of more shots in this game. He really didn't need to. He had 16 assists. His passing was so absurd tonight.
Put on a clinic tonight.
The late bounce pass to Peyton Watson, just in the dribble motion, that spin dribble motion with the left hand is one of the best passes I've ever seen in my life, but that's just, again, it's routine for him. 10 rebounds. He's going to, by the way, Dan, I did the math on this. I think he's going to break, well, I'm pretty sure he's going to break the all-time triple-double record this year. Like he's on the way to be able to do it. The only thing that's tricky about it is that Westbrook is still playing.
Yeah.
So like and I think Westbrook, last I checked was last week. I think he had like 2 or 3. I think he had 2 triple doubles so far on the year. If he gets like 5 or 6 or whatever, that's a few extras that Joker's going to have to get. But he should break that record sometime around March on his current pace and become the NBA's all-time leader in triple doubles. But yeah, he was great tonight. Honestly, like credit to Jock Landale, who we saw in the series against Phoenix a couple of years ago. Landale's one of those guys that actually has the physicality to bang with Joker and kind of give him problems. And Landale was actually pretty good tonight because Zach Edey left that game. The Grizzlies are a freaking mess, by the way.
Did you see Ja Morant trying to get in Peyton Watson's ear on his 3-ball in the corner?
Dude.
Like, what is he doing? Why is he even on the bench?
Just go back to shotgun willies, you weirdo. Juggle your guns or whatever you like doing. That guy is it's a shame to watch because he's one of the most exciting young players in the NBA, but also like he's making it untenable there in Memphis, but then at the same time, like what team's gonna want him? What team wants to sign up for that mess? He's a good enough player that everybody should be lining up to get him, but I think teams would take one look at Ja Morant and say, I'm good. I don't need that headache.
The Raiders might call him up and see if he's available.
Seriously, like that's the kind of profile that he's got right now.
Who's the Raiders of the NBA? They'll take him.
Yeah. I guess it's the Grizzlies now. I don't know.
You know what? He's already on the Raiders of the NBA. Yeah, it's the Grizzlies.
yeah. It was at one time at least. But it's a shame too because there's good young talent on that team, and Ja's being weird about it. Like, obviously Jaren's an absolute stud. He didn't play great tonight, but he's an absolute stud. I always like Santi Aldama. I like him. KCP. It's weird to watch our championship.
Not gonna lie, I had no idea KCP was on the Grizzlies. I had no idea. I was like, oh my god, he's not in Orlando anymore. When did he go to the Grizzlies?
No, he went to Memphis, and he's KCP. God bless him. The guy absolutely rules. But yeah, weird basketball team. The Memphis Grizzlies should be better than they are. Shouldn't be 6-12, but they're a friggin' mess. And to that point, okay, this is a game, Dan, the Nuggets had to have. Like, this is one. Okay, so Saturday night, you come back home on the second night of a back-to-back after defeating the Rockets on the Red Planet. And you get that win, and then you come back home and you have to play the Kings, and it's the second night of a back-to-back, and the Kings are a fast-paced team, desperate team. you're tired, you're emotionally spent, you got in at 3 a.m, you got to go play the Sacramento Kings. Like, was that game there for the taking for Denver? Absolutely. They didn't defend down the stretch, so ultimately they lost that game, and they lost that game because of their defense. And then the NBA scheduling right now, which is just freaking brutal. And the NBA flips around and says, okay, you guys go on the road and you got to play at Memphis here on a Monday night, and it's in and out and in and out, and it's just constant with this schedule right now. But it's a bad team, and good teams have to be bad teams. And you don't want to go in and mess around with this thing. And there was a late Grizzlies run, and what did they cut it to? 7 or 6 maybe? I want to say late.
Well, it was an
quarter.
18-point game, and they went on a 12-0 run, so I think it was 6.
Yeah, so they cut it to 6. And Cam Spencer, remember him from UConn? Cam Spencer is, making little short jumpers and everything like that. And it got weird for a minute, but this is the kind of game the Nuggets have to, you got to get it. You got to beat the bad teams. And the Kings one was a bad scheduling spot. Needed to get it. Good to see they got it.
All right, Nate, we'll let you go. Appreciate it, man. I know you got dad duty, so appreciate you hopping on, and good win. You're right. The Nuggets needed this one in a bad way. So appreciate you hopping on, man.
Dan, thank you. Thanks to all the listeners, the comments. What's up, dudes? We appreciate it. Nahura Towel, you're doing great, man. So you guys keep it up. Dan, have a great night, buddy.
All right, Nate. Thanks, man. See ya. There he goes. Nate Krekman, everybody. We have another special guest joining the program. My fellow orange hoodie wearer, Darren McKee, on the program. DMac, thanks for being patient. Nate came on the post-game show there. Just initial thoughts on the game, and then I do want to react to something Nate was talking about there as far as the schedule goes that I want to get your thoughts on. But just thoughts on Jamal Murray, I thought was awesome tonight. Joker, awesome as always. Peyton Watson just can't miss from 3, I guess, in the second half of this game. Your thoughts on the win?
A great win. I thought they were going to piss it away there for a little bit, but, they hang on. So that's what they should do. I actually, for everybody's enjoyment, have a little Scott Hastings with Jamal Murray. You want to hear that afterwards?
Absolutely.
Check it out.
29 hey, don't worry about it. Come on, man. 29-8 tonight. Fabulous game. But, boy, you had it going in the fourth quarter. What triggered that? What was going on?
I don't know. Just kind of left open for a little bit, and I got a little rhythm. Yoke wanted me to shoot the ball, and I did that.
Don't you know when you're kind of rolling, when you and the guy that jumped at you are both laughing, coming back down and going, Landell, he said, oh, man, what can I do?
It's all fun and games, man. We're a brotherhood. We've been playing against each other for a long time, so it's cool to have those moments and stay competitive.
Now, you guys right here, a good win for you coming off that tough loss the other night. A little bit of a break. What the heck are you going to do with 2 or 3 days off?
As little as possible.
Sleep and rest a little bit. Hey, where is this team at right now?
We're really good. I think we're only getting better. As guys went down, more guys are stepping up and having confidence to play. So, you saw tonight, the second unit looks great, and we're moving the ball. The ball's hopping, the defense is together. So, as long as we keep that up, the sky's the limit.
I appreciate it. Good game tonight, man.
Pretty cool, man. Yeah, Jamal was good. Jamal was really good.
That was great.
Is he an all-star?
He's playing one right now. I mean, we've talked about this. The problem for Jamal is the guards in the West are so good, and it's just such a deep conference for guards. But he's playing like an all-star right now. I mean, I tell you what, man, he has been phenomenal. I said this with Nate. The thing that has been the best surprise from Jamal Murray this season, it's not just the fact that he came into the season probably in the best shape of his life, which, to be completely honest, hasn't been the case in the past with Jamal Murray. I mean, especially last year after the Olympics and the really slow start. So comparatively to last year, he's in phenomenal shape. But what I'm loving from Jamal this year, DMac, the most is he's always had inconsistencies throughout the course of a regular season. But one of my biggest issues with him is it wasn't only that, and Michael Porter Jr. had the same problem too. He would have inconsistencies within a game. Like he'd have a great first quarter, disappear in the third, stuff like that. I think Jamal's been pretty consistent in every game he's played in this year. Like we haven't really seen those peaks and valleys from Jamal Murray so far within a singular game this year. That's what I've been most impressed by with Jamal. No doubt. I mean, it's been great.
The consistency, he's always been clutch, but to be consistent as well was probably a big step for him. He's a superstar. He is an NBA superstar. He is. He gets paid like one. He is one. He's got championship pedigree. But, there were so many nights where it was like, it seemed like 4 of 16 shooting, 1 of 2 of 7 from 3 and like 14 points. And, it seems like there's less of that this year. I mean, I'm just guessing. I'd have to go back and look at the actual numbers. But it at least feels like that. And, he definitely is in better shape. I mean, there's no doubt about that. And, you can really tell. So it's been awesome. And, I got to give Memphis a little credit, dude. I mean, come on. Like, who knew they were even going to be? When it was 18, I thought it was going to go to 30. Seriously. I mean, they showed a little resolve. And, I was watching Monday Night Football and had the game on mute for a little bit. What happened to Eddie? Why did he go out?
Oh, Zach Edey? He
yeah.
got his that Marlo and Hastings were saying on the broadcast that he got hit in the head at about like the 6-minute mark of the first quarter.
Wow.
Because they didn't have like the injury report or something out. And in fact, Marlo and Scott were both like, where's Zach Edey? We don't have any information on him. And then a little bit later, like, okay, we just got a note that he head injury. He must have got whacked in the head with about halfway through the first, which, by the way, I mean, you never want to see that, but
no, but
that was good for the Nuggets because that guy can play.
You hear like head injury instead of concussion, but it's okay. I mean, all right. But, Jock Landale was actually, I don't know, you probably got more out of Jock Landale than you would have got out of Edey anyways. So maybe that's a push. Maybe it doesn't matter. But I'm just looking at some of the numbers. Jaren Jackson was minus 27. Ouch. That's a bit rough.
So Jaren Jackson was on a podcast a summer or two ago, DMac. And I think it was like Paul George's, one of the other NBA guys' billion podcasts.
Right.
And they were asking him, like, who do you hate going up against the most? And they were naming all these stars. And Jaren Jackson's like, Nikola Jokic.
Yeah.
That's the hardest person. And he's like, I have to go up against him all the time. He's like, I hate playing Joker because he is impossible to guard and go up against.
The crazy thing to me is the combined 3-pointers, dude. 90 3-pointers attempted. 90. Yeah. 90.
Welcome to the modern NBA, DMac. But the Nuggets typically don't get in shootouts from 3 like that.
The Nuggets shot 51% from 3. What? I mean, that is silly. Yeah. So,
and they started 1 of 4. Peyton went I think they started 0 of 4. Peyton went 0 of 3 to start the game. And then who was the other guy that missed the 3? It was Spencer Jones. Because I remember, I'm like, oh my gosh, you have Joker, Cam Johnson, and Jamal, and Peyton Watson and Spencer Jones take the first 4 threes of the game.
How about the fact that Peyton Watson jacked up 22 shots tonight?
DMac, they're not guarding him. It wasn't just tonight. It's been the last like 4 games. They're just, if he's outside, they're not guarding him. I was just telling Nate, that's clearly the game plan for opposing teams' defense is coming in because they will not guard him. But I'll tell you this, if he keeps knocking down those outside shots, they're going to have to guard him.
Yeah, that kind of happened during the championship run too, didn't it? With like KCP. And by the way, I'm with you. I didn't realize KCP was on the Grizzlies either. I thought he was still with Orlando.
So did I. I don't know how I missed that one.
It's funny. Like I looked at KCP and on TV, they did a shot of Bruce Brown. And there was part of me that was like, all right, if he's on Memphis, like, is there a way to get KCP back onto
why do you want to be on Memphis, KCP? You just come back to Denver.
Well, I'm sure he doesn't. I don't even know what the transaction was, but I'm gonna guess it wasn't free agency. I'm gonna guess he was traded.
Yeah, I think it was a trade.
Is it crazy to think that we should get KCP back on the team, get the whole band back together?
I don't think it would work salary cap wise. I think that's where they would run into a problem.
Yeah,
unfortunately, okay. I'm sure they would love to have him back. I'd love to have KCP back. Are you kidding me? Put him in the starting lineup and have Hardaway and Brown exclusively come off the bench. And then, once they start getting healthy, then you've got Peyton Watson back into the bench role. I mean, my God, that would be amazing. But yeah, I don't think it would work with salary cap restrictions and all that second apron crap.
a couple of other highlights. Zeke Naji hitting 2 threes. It's like,
Good for him, man.
I agree. And, it happened. It felt like both of those were impactful. Like they both mattered. So cool, man. Like, again, you're jacking up threes left and right. They shot better from 3 than they did from the field. They shot 51%. Well, I guess it was the same. 51% from the field and 51% from 3. That's wild. Just a weird, wild game. But, a nice bounce back after that disappointing loss to Sacramento. And now you get a few days off, actually. They have from now until Friday off.
3 days off. 3 days off. Thank God. The team needs it. And it's a big, and it's a very winnable game against San Antonio at home. No Victor Wembanyama in a cup game. Got to get up for those cup games,
it matters
right?
More.
So
David
yeah,
Adelman told us it matters more, Dan.
Yeah, to them because they get extra money. Of course it does. I agree with them. It doesn't matter more to me. But yeah,
I put a couple fun things up, by the way, just because I'm bored and I'm just messing.
What'd you put up?
Well, let's hear Scott Hastings talk with Mike Mosier of the Denver Nuggets coaching staff.
I hipped you on who Mark Mosier is, right?
Yeah, I got you.
Play-by-play guy.
Avalanche.
He started something on a game the other night. There's a whole bit they did, and then some guy, Kyle Keefe, asked Santa if he would say something if they scored. And so this is what he said. So I'm asking if this is a Mosier thing. He said, paint my reindeer and call me a goblin. Do you have any idea, being a Mosier yourself, what paint my reindeer and make me a goblin is?
I have no idea what that means at all.
Which doesn't make it better almost.
Zero. But that might be a Moser thing. A lot of the grandparents and the uncles from the South right down here in Memphis, they got a lot of sayings like that. I don't know what they're talking about.
They do have some funny. I went to Arkansas, so I know all about that. Well, I was thinking about trying to slip that in tonight because we are in Memphis, and it almost feels like it's a Southern saying.
Yeah, it feels right. Yeah.
All right, Bill.
All right, Dan. You ready for when it happened during the game?
Yeah. Let's hear it.
Here we go.
He's jumping into him a little bit.
I don't think that's a foul. But Murray's going to get 2 free throws.
Yeah, you're right, though. Every time when it happens to you,
you'd be going nutty.
I'd be going, paint my reindeer and call me a goblin.
All right, there you go. Scotty getting it in.
That's great. We'll play that on the show tomorrow for sure.
Oh, are you kidding me? Yes, we'll highlight all of that stuff.
That's great. I hope that catches on.
Paint my reindeer and call me a goblin.
Well, what we need to do is we need to come up with something for Scott. We need a PhD original to come up, and I would love to get listener suggestions. After a giant 3 or an awesome Jokic pass.
That's funny.
What should Scott say? Something completely out there and random. I guess it's got to be like holiday / Christmas related since Mosier's was, but that's great stuff. I'm glad Scott's having fun with it.
Good fun win, Dan. Good times, man. Good times, brother. Good times. I like it.
One more thing real quick I wanted to ask you about.
I hope Jokic is happy now being 13-4 because he was upset being 12-4.
Good. That's what winners do. They demand excellence. I loved it. I loved hearing that from Nikola Jokic. Okay, so real quick, DMac, before I let you go.
Yeah.
I was talking about this the other night. And look, I get it. Like, fans don't care about these guys' travel schedule and all that stuff. I understand. But, I made the point of like, boy, it sure would have been nice for that family of 4 that paid to go see the Nuggets take on the Kings at Ball Arena, 1 or 2 games they can go to a year, to not have them dead ass tired coming back on the second night of a back-to-back traveling from Houston, but that's besides the point. So I was talking with Vic a little bit about this on Twitter the other night, and the season is so compressed in the NBA. Like the NHL starts 2.5 weeks before the NBA, and the Nuggets actually finish their regular season before the Avalanche. Now, this year's a little bit different because they have the Olympics this year, which is a really long break.
Right.
But typically, the seasons end right around the same time in April. The NHL spaces out their calendar a little bit more, so they don't have these as many back-to-backs. So my idea was to Vic, go down to 2 preseason games in the NBA. Okay. You don't need 6 preseason games.
No, that's for sure.
It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
The starter's only playing half of them anyways. Go down to 2 preseason games and extend the regular season calendar by 10 days.
Okay.
And that would eliminate a lot of the circumstances or that scenario we saw the other night with the Nuggets having to travel back from Houston and play the Kings the following night. What would you think about that?
I love that idea. And I would take it one step further. And I've, talked about this for a long, long time. Let's move the calendars of the NHL and the NBA completely. Meaning, let's start the NBA season like a soft launch, like a week before Christmas, with Christmas being a huge day. But you get a couple of games in, and then Christmas, here we go. We can forget about this cup, or we can do the cup, frankly, in like January. That'd be fine.
Sure.
And then you'd have the NBA playoffs finals happen in July, which would lead for like the first 2 weeks of July, which kind of coincides then with training camp and the NFL opens up. At the same time, what I believe should happen is the NHL should try their damnedest to have the Stanley Cup final in March. Listen, you're either going to have warm weather hockey either at the beginning of your season, if you were to move it, or at the end of the season. And I was lucky enough to be in Tampa, Dan, sweating balls in Tampa during the Stanley Cup Finals. So don't tell me about, it'd be weird to play hockey games in August. No, wouldn't it be cool? It'd be warm. It'd be a fun place to go to. And there's nothing going on. It's NFL preseason, that type of thing. So the NHL would have an opportunity to have a moment for itself. Plus, it would end when a lot of the country in Canada is cold and feels more like hockey and wouldn't coincide at the same time. Plus, it would cover that crazy gap we have in our sports schedule through June through training camp, where we are just like dead as a doornail for 7 weeks. So I love your idea. So yes to your idea. Now let's just move the calendar a little bit. We can wait on basketball to start if we get more of it in the summertime. Because I feel basketball is equally a summer sport as it is a winter sport. In all honesty, I think hockey is a winter sport. So the championship should conclude in the summer. A championship in basketball concluding in July, I think would be awesome. I think it would be really, really cool. So there you go.
Well, and ideally, the week or whatever of the MLB All-Star break, we in sports radio lore say it's the dead week in sports talk radio.
Not anymore.
What exactly? That could be the heart of the NBA Finals in that week. I mean, talk about being able to feature your sport
on the schedule. Real quick, you're gonna go to 18 games in the NFL anyway. This is ridiculous playing these short week games. College football in a 12-week schedule, 12-game schedule, has 2 bye weeks. See, you just had their second bye week, okay? So how about this? Extend the football season, just 2 preseason games, 18 regular season games, 2 bye weeks, conclude on President's Day weekend, which would back it up like 2 or 3 weeks, wherever President's Day falls. And you're going to finish at the end of February rather than the beginning of February. Dan, how about all of that?
Yeah, I like it. I like all of it. I really liked your point about, you're right, man. Like the NHL, they're going to be playing in warm weather no matter what.
No matter what.
So you're right, man. It'd be better at the start of the season. And it's like, at that point, who cares anyways, right? The first month of the NBA, the first month of the NHL is basically extended training camp / preseason anyways.
The first 20 games do feel like that. You're right.
And let's not forget, the NHL is moving to an 84-game schedule starting next year.
I know.
They're going to 84, which, by the way, I would be shocked if the NBA does not follow suit. Shocked. They are absolutely going to follow suit. Now, I don't know when, but they are going to be going to an 84-game schedule. There's no question about it. So, yeah, man, like, the argument against the point I'm making of extend the calendar by 10 days is, that's 10 days players have, a shortened off season.
Oh,
then get rid of the preseason.
Or get rid of the preseason.
Then get rid of four preseason games. Boom, problem solved.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, you can get rid of the entire preseason for
I'm with you.
And NBA.
Just get rid of it.
Just get rid of it. Just
couldn't agree more. It's useless.
You got summer league, you have training camp, and if you want to scrimmage another team during training camp, I mean, all right, cool. But whatever, just work out your problems in the first 20 games, and that's that. And nobody's really, I mean, so the Nuggets are 13-4, Dan. I want, by the way, how about this already? Because we talked a lot about being 12-11 at the start of last year, already better than that, which is good, right? Like check-in boxes that you wanted to be better than. So we're not dealing with a lot of the BS we were dealing with last year. And let's face it, the 4 losses have all been like razor thin. Like they haven't been blown out. They haven't lost by double digits. I mean, they've barely lost these 4 games. They're more like annoying losses than problematic losses. So, yeah, I mean, so far so good, 13-4. It'd be amazing if they could go 16-4, Dan. And if they're doing that, we're projecting a 60-win season. How great would that be?
That'd be fantastic. By the way, the Thunder, 17-1 now. 17-1. I was talking to KJ at the station today. They have a really good chance of at least tying the Warriors record of 73-9, DMac. Like, that's what we're talking about here. And by the way, the Pistons just won their 13th game in a row tonight.
How about
Holy
that?
cow.
Kate
Who
Cunningham.
saw that coming? I mean, I knew I liked what they were building.
Yeah.
But to this degree, wow. Good for them.
When you pile up those kind of picks, unless you're a moron, you should be able to do something like the Rockets did it.
Yep.
The Detroit's doing it. Houston's doing it. Like you suck long enough. I mean, you're going to get some good dudes. It's going to happen. And now the next game for the Nuggets, San Antonio, but no Wemby, right? Is he still out? Is he still going to be out?
Yep, he'll be out.
That sucks.
It does suck.
He's the only player. He's the only like great player from another team who I actually do want to see. Everybody else can be hurt. Like John Morant not playing tonight. Great. Super. Awesome.
Kick rocks.
Yeah, kick rocks. Who
Go
cares?
back to Shotgun Willies.
LeBron not playing. Don't care. Anthony Edwards
care.
playing. Don't care. Jalen. Don't care. Don't care about Steph Curry not playing. Cry me a river. The 8-year-old girl from Erie with their sign with all the glitter sticks on it. I don't care.
I drove all the way from Erie to see you. and by the way, it's my birthday.
It's always their birthday.
Yeah.
It's always their birthday. Why do the parents only give a crap about you on your birthday? Like, why is it got to be your birthday? And you know what? How much ID do 8-year-olds carry around? How do we really know it's her birthday? Do we really know it's her birthday? I mean, do they have some ID?
How many people at restaurants get a free dessert because they say it's their birthday when it's actually not? It's the same thing with the signs at sporting events. I will say the only other player, because I'm with you, Wemby, that's my favorite matchup going in the NBA right now, is Nikola Jokic going up against Victor Wembanyama. I just find it fascinating that Nikola Jokic does not have to change the way he plays against Wemby. He plays the exact same way he always plays. And I was curious about that. And the first time they played, I'm like, oh, wow. Joker isn't doing anything different. He might put a little bit more arc on his floaters, but that's about it.
All
so
right.
I've always found that fascinating. But the other guy, I will say, I do enjoy seeing Luka Doncic play basketball against the Nuggets as well. I mean, he's a fun player to watch. So I would say it's Wemby and Luka are the only two non-Nuggets that I really enjoy watching play basketball.
There you go.
All right, D. Great stuff, man.
Brother.
Thanks for jumping on. Good win tonight for the Nuggets.
Love it.
13-4.
Love it, Dan. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right, sounds good. There he goes, DMac on the program. Yep, great win for the Nuggets tonight, everybody. They get the 125-115 victory over the Memphis Grizzlies. Yeah, it was really funny seeing Ja Morant. I don't know if y'all caught, I think it was the first quarter. Peyton Watson shoots a 3 in the corner right in front of the Grizzlies bench. And Ja, like when he's shooting it, Ja stands up and says something to Peyton Watson. Like it'd be like in his backswing in golf. Peyton drills it, so that was awesome. Didn't affect him. But that was just another example of how immature and idiotic Ja Morant is. This guy is throwing it all away. It's going to be one of those, potentially could be one of those, 30 for 30s on ESPN of one of the most talented basketball players we've ever seen throw it all away because he was being a moron. I hope that's not the case with Ja Morant. Hopefully he can get things figured out, get his maturity levels up a little bit, whatever he needs to do. But just the other night, he's getting into it with Klay Thompson on the court when he's in street clothes, talking shit to Klay Thompson. It's like, dude, you're talking shit to a guy that's played in or won 4 NBA championships, and you're in street clothes and you haven't done jack squat. So this is the beauty of how the Nuggets have built their team. And quite honestly, I will give Sean Payton a lot of credit for this too. They're not just bringing in guys no matter what. They're bringing in the right players, the right people. That's how the best teams do it. And you have to do it that way. Otherwise, you risk running into a situation like a Ja Morant. And to be honest with you, Bones Highland, same sort of deal. Now, Bones wasn't doing nearly the amount of bad stuff that Ja Morant has been doing over the last couple of years, but he was a locker room cancer, and I know he was. And I can't say it for sure, but I know that there were several people on the team that year that wanted him gone. Several big players on the Nuggets wanted Bones Highland out of there. And the front office obviously listened because they ended up trading him, and then they ended up winning an NBA championship. So it's just one of those classic cases of you've got to bring in not just the right players to fit your system, but you've got to bring in the right people to best fit into your locker room and into your team culture. And the Nuggets have done a really, really good job of that. I've talked about it over the years. I've been in that locker room really since the beginning of the Nikola Jokic era. I've been around that team, and I could tell you, I don't know what other NBA locker rooms are like. I'm not in their locker rooms all the time, but from what I've seen, this team has always been very tight-knit and very close, and that's important. And that's what's led to a lot of the Nuggets' success. So great win for the Nuggets tonight. They'll get 3 nights off. They need it. They've had a brutal schedule over the last couple of weeks here, so it'll be good to see what they can do on Friday coming up against the Victor Wembanyama-less Spurs in their 3rd NBA Cup game. Actually, I think it's their 4th NBA Cup game. Yeah, they're 2-1 in the NBA Cup. So that'll do it for the postgame show tonight, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you on Friday night for reaction to Nuggets and Spurs. We'll talk to you then.